let's quickly have a look at US30. We're on the monthly chart, as you guys can see, and previously I had spoken about how we have this very nice M structure at this level, which has a neckline at that level more or less, and we had said that price had broken to the bottom side of that neckline and then went back up to test that neckline, and that we should have potentially been looking for selling opportunities at that point, as the anticipation is for the market to move further down. And that is because, guys, that when it comes to M structures, ideally we would love to see price break to the bottom side of that neckline and then head back up to test that neckline, and this is where we would look for selling opportunities, as we would love to see price move further down, right? So in regards to the monthly chart, that's a possibility, in that based on where price currently is, we might potentially see the market push further down to around at least this level first, and then possibly this level as well, right? Anyway, let's proceed. What I'm going to do right now is actually head down to the weekly chart. We just need to, before we head down to the weekly chart, keep that in the back of our minds, that we have this M structure, as I said, and that the market may push further down to this level and then again to this level, right? But we need further confirmation and we need further confluence in order for that to happen. Anyway, let's proceed. So here we are on the weekly chart. On the weekly chart, we can see that we have what seems to be an inverted head and shoulders pattern, as you guys can see, right? Let me just actually draw that clearly. Just bear with me. We have this pattern over here, right? With this side being the left hand shoulder, with this being the head and this being the right hand shoulder. So as much as on the monthly chart I'd spoken about the market possibly pushing further down, what may actually happen is, based on the weekly chart, because we have this very nice inverted head and shoulders pattern, is that the market may actually push further up to around this level over here, and that is because, as I said, we have this inverted head and shoulders pattern, right? So what we're doing right now is we're looking at the market holistically, and we're looking at all the possible outcomes that we may possibly experience, right? Anyway, let's proceed. So what else do we see in regards to this particular chart, which is the weekly chart? Another thing that signals that we may be getting ready to head up, is that we have this W structure over here, which has a neckline at that point, and we can see that price broke the neckline to the upside and then came down to retest that neckline. And we can see at this point where the neckline is being tested, we have what seems to be a pattern called the railroad track, right? And it's a reversal confirmation, in my humble opinion, and that we might see price possibly push further up, right? Anyway, I'm just gonna add a neckline to that W structure, and just bear with me while I do so. Let's see. There goes our neckline, more or less. The next thing that I'm going to do is utilize the Fibonacci retracement tool. I just want to have a look and see if the neckline of the W pattern actually aligns with any of the key numbers that we have on the Fibonacci retracement tool. So just bear with me. Let's see. Let's have a look. Just bear with me while I adjust my Fibonacci tool. And there we go, guys. We can see that this small W structures neckline actually aligns with the 61.8% Fibonacci retracement level, and that's confirmation, in my humble opinion, because let me actually just delete this. Let's see. That's confirmation that we should be looking for buying opportunities, and that's because, number one, we have this inverted head and shoulders pattern, right? Number two, we have this W structure at this point, right? Number three, we have the neckline of the W structure aligning with the 61.8% Fibonacci retracement level, and number 4, we have the formation of the railroad tracks at this level, right? So all these are confirmations, and they are telling me that we should indeed be looking for buying opportunities, right? And in my humble opinion, I would say, if you do find an opportunity to buy, excuse me, if you do find an opportunity to buy at this level, I say that your first take profit should be at least this level over here. Having said that, I believe that because of this head and shoulders pattern, that price should at least end at around this level over here, because that would complete the pattern. And this level as well is a very strong level of resistance, because we have multiple rejections at that level, as you guys can see, right? Anyway, let's proceed. From here, what I'm going to do is head down to the daily chart, and here we are on the daily chart. This chart is very much similar to the Nasdaq chart that I just looked at. Anyway, let's proceed. On the daily chart, the first thing that I'm going to do is to add my channel. Just bear with me while I do so. Let's see. Daily chart. There we go, more or less. So there goes our channel on the daily chart. Let's see. There we go. So what else do we see on the chart? What else do we see on the chart that we should be paying attention to? So as I said, this chart is very much similar to the Nasdaq chart. So as much as we have that W structure over here, and the neckline of the W structure being at this region, we also have what seems to be an overextended W structure at this level, which has a neckline at that point, right? And you guys know that when it comes to W structures, ideally we would love to see price break the neckline to the upside and then have it come back to the neckline to test it, and this is where we would look for possible buying opportunities, as the anticipation is for the market to push further up. So similarly, at this level over here, where we have the neckline of this W structure, should price come back to the neckline from where it is, we would most likely look for buying opportunities at this point. And as I said, our take profit should be this level over here, right? Because that's where the completion of this W structure would actually be, right? I hope what I'm saying makes sense. So what I'm going to do right now is just add a neckline to that smaller W structure, and just bear with me while I do so. Let's see. There goes my neckline, and can you guys see that the neckline of that bigger W structure, this one, actually aligns with the neckline of this smaller W structure? So should price come back to this level over here, we will most likely be looking for possible buying opportunities, right? We will most likely be looking for possible buying opportunities. Anyway, let's proceed. What else do we see in regards to this daily chart that we should be paying attention to or looking at? Another thing that is very much interesting is the fact that we have this pattern over here, which is a head and shoulders pattern, which has a neckline at that level over there. Right. So the neckline of this head and shoulders pattern is also a very strong level of resistance, and as much as we would love to see price push further up to around this level, what may happen is that the market may only push to around this level because of this level of resistance, right? So I'm just going to add a neckline to that level as well, because it's quite important as well. So just bear with me. There we go. Right, there we go. So what else do we see on this chart? Another thing that is also very much interesting is the fact that we have a gap over here, which is a liquidity area, and liquidity area, or rather liquidity areas, at one point or another need to be filled by the market. So we might see price push further up, at least to that level, right? And there is scope, as you guys can see, for the market to push further up. Anyway, let's proceed. From here, what I'm gonna do is head down to the H4 chart, since I don't see really much of interest. Anyway, on the H4 chart, I'm just gonna start by fixing my channels, just to ensure that they are as accurate as can be. Just bear with me. Here we go. There goes my H4 chart. So what else do we see in regards to the H4 channel? or rather the H4 chart that we should be paying attention to. So from here, the next thing that I'm going to do is to add my H4 channel as well, and just bear with me while I do so. Let's see. Let's see. There we go. So we might possibly get a third touch of this particular channel over here, because we had a touch over there, we had a touch over here, and it looks like we might possibly get a third touch over at that level. And if that happens, a lot of people will be selling. Why will they be selling? They will be selling because, number one, we have that this pattern rather, which I spoke about, which is the head and shoulders pattern, which has a neckline at that point. Number two, we will be having a third touch of the trend line. So in their mind, or rather in many people's minds, that would be confirmation for them to sell, right? So that may happen, and if price pushes down, I would love to see it come to at least this level, and at this level we will look for further buying opportunities. As I have said, guys, that we have this W structure which has a neckline at that point. And also, if we go back to the daily chart, we also have on the daily chart this W structure which has a neckline at the same region. So this would be a good place to be looking for potential buying opportunities. And if we do buy at this point, our take profit, as I said, guys, should be at least this level. That's our final take profit, right? So I hope what I've said makes sense, and I hope my lines are not too confusing. And as I've said in previous videos, the reason why I add all of these lines is so that we don't get confused as we move down from time frame to time frame, and also to remember what's happening on each and every single time frame, right? So that is it in as far as my analysis goes. However, I just want to actually add the Fibonacci retracement tool just to see if this neckline of this W structure actually aligns with any key numbers. Okay, just bear with me. Let's see.